Guys, I have 3 or 4 routers here. Actually, I got 3 routers and an extender. Why I have them is because I have a lot of wireless stuff out and about the yard that I need them in order to get to the distance. Well, there are routers out there that will cover all the distance plus some, so I will be buying one of them. But I have an app here that kind of helps me out quite a bit. Let me get to it here real quick. It's right here. It's called, see it? Whoop, back up. It's called Wi-Fi Analyzer. And that's what the icon looks like. Now this is an Android. Now there's also another one right next to it, but this one I seem to turn to most. You hit that, and it brings up, let me turn it, I think it's this way. Come on, I want the phone to change. There we go. Now what it does is it brings up a graph of the Wi-Fi connections that are on in my area. Now if you see here, there's 2 of them there, and they're real close. Well, one of those is mine, and the other one just went above mine. So mine goes up and down, and the other one goes up and down. So that's showing me that it's on channel 6 right now. So 6 is a real active channel, if you see what I mean. There's a 6 there. So if I wanted to, and I seen this really going nuts as far as, you know, a lot, because now there's another one, and every time somebody else jumps on, these start coming up and down. I noticed that 8, 9, and 4, and 3 are hardly ever used. Now I can have tons of speed right here, but if there's another one close to me in that, you know, as far as speed, or in that same channel, because sometimes there'll be 3 or 4 of them there, but not all as high, they're like step down, those are interfering with me. Even though I have the speed, it's not going to show as far as being good or fast on this system because there's interference there. So I can change my channel. Now see, 8 is at a low point, 3 is at a low point, you know, 9, 12, 13. So I can go into my router, change the channel on my router, and get out of that big old cluster screw up that's there that everybody's on, causing some type of an interference. And nothing's going to happen to my system other than it's going to run faster. So now there's also other windows. This is a gauge, naturally, that would tell me. I can turn it on so it'll beep once it starts connecting. Tap here to select. I can tap there. I can try to select something. Let me see here. Let me select one. There. Okay. Here it beep. So that's telling me at that point where the signal is, and it's beeping to let me know I'm connected. Now I can turn the beep off if I want. And then there's another one that tells me the signal strength and the channels. See, I told you I was on channel 16 before, or 6 rather, channel 6. Alright, here's another one. That one there is on channel 153, so that there works better for me actually because that's one of my extenders. Let me close that. Let me see if I can scroll up here. Oh, there isn't that many on right now. Like I say, you may end up with a lot of them there at that point. But there's a number of different windows here to kind of help you through all this. Now, where it works for me is I can travel or walk around my property with this on, and I can see where my signal dips down to almost nothing to nothing versus where it's strong. So I can virtually find any dead spots that I have, you know, in the area that I want to work within. So it's a nice little app if you're going to get involved with anything like that. And again, it's System Analyzer and Wi-Fi Analyzer. Now there's a number of them there. There's even a couple of them that are rated a little bit higher, but this one here seems to be working the best for me. This one here is close. It's kind of the same thing here, as you can see. Now see, there's different colors but the same graft, and again there's 2 in this area, and there's like 2 in this area. This is number 6 right in the center. That's the channel that I'm on. Now there's 3 on channel 6. Okay? You know, it's almost like when you're watching TV, when you used to have an antenna online, you're watching TV and you see another channel goes into that one, it comes in and out, in and out. All right, well, that's interference. And by having, look at them all now. Now there's 4 of them. Now there's 3 of them, but they're all on that one channel. So that's just causing interference, which is going to slow me down. I can have the speed coming into my system, but if there's a lot of interference, it's just going to slow me down. So I am going to change the channel to either 8, 4, or possibly even 12 or 13. I got to see. All right, but I have to read the directions on my router so I know how to get into it and do that. And we'll take it one step at a time. So anyway, if you guys are interested and want to do anything like that, it's a nice little program. You know, I'm trying to remember where I found it. Did I find it because I read in my phone, so when I was on the internet loading some of the apps that I normally load, did I find it then or did I find it on YouTube? You know what, let me see where I found it, and if I found it on YouTube, and actually I want to give that person credit, so let me go through some of my subs real quick to see if in fact I did find it somewhere from there. But if not, I'm sure you can find it at the App Store. Well, that's where I found it anyway. Oh, that's where I downloaded it from. Again, I don't know how I was made aware of it though. Alright guys, have a good one. Alright, here it is here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Or try to anyway. This is it on the Wi-Fi store. I typed in Wi-Fi analyzer up here. This is the one I'm using. This is the other one that I'm using. This one, I don't care for it at all. This one, I hadn't tried it. This one is $4, but you know what? It's the same as that one. It's not worth free, in my opinion. However, it may work okay for you. I also have this one on my my tablet. This one down here, if you can see me lighting it up. This one. So right now I'm running this one most of the time. However, I do use this one. Depending on if I'm in the yard, I do this, and if it doesn't just seem to be right, I'll double check it with this. Or vice versa. I always like to double check things. And then there's this one that I use. Now I've tried some of the other ones. Like I told you guys before, I think I told you before, I have an old Note 3 that is no longer connected with to the phone. I can't use it as a cell anymore. It's the ones the dogs got a hold of. It can be used if I put the card back in it. But other than that, to make a long story short, I still keep it and use it and keep it charged because it can still work as long as I'm next to a Wi-Fi. And in the house, I just keep it to the Wi-Fi. So if I got to do a quick search or a quick download and I'm near it, I don't have to worry about turning the computer on and off. Because I turn my computer off when it's not being used. I don't leave it running. And I don't want to load apps into my phone until I see how they actually are. So what I do is I load them into that older phone to see how I like them and test them. And then if I like them and test them and find I'm going to have a need for it, then I'll load it into my Galaxy 4. And if not, I just delete it out of the other one. And if it ends up going back in or something happens, it's an old phone. I only use it for trial and errors, so I really don't care. So if any of you guys got an old phone, smartphone laying around, it's still going to work as long as you're next to a Wi-Fi, so you can probably do the same thing if you want. So I have tried quite a few of these, and like I say, I kept turning back to this one being first over here, and then that one, and then this one down here. So now, like I say, you may like some of these other ones, but it's up to you if you want to install and uninstall The problem being is, the way I understand it is, even though you uninstall it, it still leaves remnants of that somewhere in your root directory, which means it's taking up space or it's going to end up slowing you down somewhere. I'm not really up on it that much, but this is what I've been told. So anyway, guys, I've wasted enough of your time. Boy, there's a lot of them in here I haven't tried. Wow. But you know what? I've got some that work, so why do I want to look for something any better? Yeah, if it works, it works. So what I may do is look at them while they're here. I won't install them, but I can still look at the screens to see how they look. If the screen looks like it may be something I can use, well then maybe I'll try it. But I'll let you know. But meanwhile, like I say, if you do anything with cell phones or Wi-Fi rather, it's a good way of checking because it's portable. You can put it on your phone or your tablet and you can walk around your property or whatever area, even in your house. If you got your system, we'll say on a second story or in the basement, stuck over in one corner, and you don't know what the opposite side of the house is on the opposite floor is actually doing, all you got to do is go over there with your phone and hit this system and it'll show you what it's doing. Alright, I'm going to call it, well, I'm not going to call it a day because I just got out here, but I'm going to call it a wrap at this point.